Hey guys, we're all doing, hope you're all doing fine. Today we're going to be learning how to read a bird chart. And in the next video, we're going to be reading my bird chart. Yay, so exciting. So, in a bird chart, in the red is the houses. In the blue is the zodiac signs. The zodiac signs represent what is happening. The zodiac signs tell us what is happening. Don't ask what I'm drawing. The zodiac signs tell us what is happening. The houses show us where it is happening. And the place in between the zodiacs and the houses are the planets. That is the place between the zodiacs and the houses. The planets show us how it is happening. For example, in this chart, Capricorn is here. So Capricorn is telling us that, here in this place, very much work will be happening. And the 6th house tells us where it is happening. Capricorn is in the 6th house. So the 6th house tells us what it is happening. So, the 6th house is the house of, what do you say? The 6th house is the house of routines. And so the 6th house is the house of daily routines. So, the 6th house is the house of daily routines. So, the 6th house is showing us that very much work will happen in here in daily routines. This is the place where work is gonna happen in. And the planets show us how it is gonna happen. For example, Mars. Mars shows us energy and anger. So, Mars is saying that it will happen with a lot of energy and anger. But instead of Mars, if the moon is there, it will show us that, it will happen with very much emotions. Now that you know the basics, it is time to level up since you know the basics now. So, guys, the first house is the house of self. The first house represents who you are. It represents your personality. The first house is your rising sign. The first house is your rising sign. The house opposite to your first house, the house opposite to your first house is the house opposite to your first house is your descendant. Your descendant is the zodiac sign which you don't act like. For example, in this chart, Leo is in the first house in this chart. So, it means that this person, it means that Leo rising. Yeah. So, Leo is in the first house in this chart. This means that Leo rising will be there, here. And in the 7th house, Aquarius is there. So, and the house opposite to the first house is the 7th house. So, whichever zodiac sign the 7th house rules. Oh my god. So y'all understood the first house rising sign thing, right? Y'all understood the first house rising sign thing, right? Good. Exactly opposite to your first house is your 7th house, which is your, what do you call that? Which is your descendant. Your descendant shows the zodiac sign which you don't act like. For example, in this chart, the descendant is Aquarius. So, this chart shows that whoever owns this chart, they will act opposite of Aquarius and they will act like Leo. Yeah. But now that you know that how the birth chart tells your personality, we need to know how the birth chart tells how people see you. So, You might have heard that rising sign is how people see you. Yes, that is correct. Rising sign is how people see you. But we need to know something more to know how people see us. We need to know some extra things to know what people see us, how people see us. And those extra things are midheaven and lower heaven. Midheaven is IC. No. Midheaven is MD. Lower heaven is IC. Wait, guys. So, guys, as I was saying, your fourth house is your IC. Your IC is your lower heaven. Your IC is your lower heaven. Your IC shows your personal self. It represents anything that is personal to you. Wait a second. So guys, I confirmed it, so let's start. Your IC is your fourth house. Your IC is your fourth house. Your descendant is your seventh house or eighth house, I'm not sure. Your MC is your 10th house. And your ASC is your first house. ASC means rising. MC means MC means midheaven. Wait. So guys, now let's start. Your IC represents your personal things. Your MC represents how people see you. It's your social image. It's your value. It's how people value you. For example, let's take an example of my birth chart, or because you will not understand anything till then. So, as you can see in my birth chart, my ASC is in Taurus. In between Aries and Gemini, there is Taurus. So, as you can see in my birth chart, my ASC is in Taurus. That represents that I act like Taurus. Your IC is, and my IC is in Leo. My IC represents my personal things. So my IC says that personally I act like Leo. Which is true because Leos represent energy and all. So, and your MC represents how people see you. Wait, people see you like Aquarius? Wow, what does Aquarius? So guys, my MC is an Aquarius. Aquarius represents freedom. Aquarius represents I don't want to be... Aquarius represents I want to be different. Aquarius represents I want to be free. Aquarius represents rebellion. Aquarius represents uniqueness and differentness. So, my MC is an Aquarius. This means that people see me like an Aquarius. This means that people see me very rebellious, very not other people like, very unique, etc. And my DSC is in Scorpio. So Scorpio represents... What does Scorpio represent? Oh yeah, right. Scorpio represents intensity and all that, so... My DSC is in Scorpio, so this shows that I do not act like Scorpio. Your ASC shows how you act like. Your MC shows how other people see you act like. Your DSC is how other people... Your DSC is how you don't act like. And your IC is how people see you. Yeah. And yep. So yeah. Now let's take some examples. Let's take some examples. Huh? Whatever. So guys, let's take an example that your Jupiter is in your first house and your rising sign is Leo. Leo represents Leo stuff. And the Leo is in the first house. The first house is yourself. The first house is how you act. Your first house is how you act like. And this chart, Leo is in the first house, representing that representing that the person who owns this birth chart acts like a Leo. But Jupiter represents that Jupiter represents growth. this shows that that person will be very successful in showing their personality and being themselves and all. So yeah. And that's how to read the birth chart. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section. If you have any questions, I know that you have to make you understand one more thing. So let's place Jupiter over here and let's place Mars over here. Perfect, done. So guys, now let's understand how aspects are shown in your birth chart. Now, I have put 2 planets in this birth chart to make you all understand how aspects work in a birth chart. So, in this person's birth chart, this is Mars. The Mars is in the 9th house ruled by Aries. Aries represents anger. The 9th house the 9th house represents adventure. And the Mars represents anger and energy. So, this shows that the person who owns this birth chart is very energetic and very angry while adventuring and traveling. But it's in Aries. Aries represents more anger and more energy. And Aries represents expressing your opinions. Aries represents being yourself. So this represents that the person is themselves in traveling. Now, as we know that Jupiter is in the 1st house in this birth chart and blah blah blah. So, but Jupiter has made an aspect with Mars in this birth chart. The Jupiter opposites Mars in your birth chart. Jupiter opposites Mars in this birth chart. Opposite means that the 2 planets or the 2 zodiac signs hate each other and need to find peace among each other. Jupiter represents growth and Mars represents anger. This represents that growth and anger, Jupiter and Mars are connected. This also represents a growth in anger and energy, of course. This also represents the 1st house and the 9th house. Leo and Aries are connected. Yeah, and that's how to read the birth chart. Bye.